Welcome back to Lockdown Fever, and my next guests are a sailing couple, world match race champion and the flight controller for USA's SailGP team, Taylor Canfield, and his fiancée Stephanie Roble, who is a 49er FX helm and on a mission to achieve Olympic gold at Tokyo 2021. For them, they're used to spending a long time apart with their sailing schedules, so now they're living in their new home in Miami, spending much more time together. And for them, it's really key they keep fit. They both seem really into it and both play an equal role in motivating each other along.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah,
Good. How are
well.
I'm fine. This is so exciting for me, having two of you in one screen. Is everything okay for timing? I know, Stephanie, you had another call or something.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for delaying. We had a call with the US sailing team people, so it's just free of that.
I know, but I haven't met you, Stephanie, but really lovely to meet you, and thank you so much for your time to do this.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too.
Virtually.
Yeah, right. Well, that's like the new thing now.
Oh, exactly. It's really good to see everyone. And how are you both? How is lockdown treating you?
Yeah, it's been fun. We've never spent this much time together, so that's been interesting.
Well, it's been a while at least, but
Yeah.
it's going well. We're staying sane. We're doing a lot of workouts, and yeah, we're doing a lot of webinars actually, and kind of interacting both from us giving webinars and also being guests of webinars, which has been awesome. So
Yeah.
it's a good way to stay busy in the downtime when we can't be on the water.
So what are you covering in the webinars?
Sailing. We miss sailing, so lots of sailing talk.
Yeah, everything.
You're talking about it.
Rules to weather to sailing strategy to kind of what we're doing with our everyday life while we're not on the water, how we're being the best people we can be, the best sailors we can be in the off time when we don't have that ability to be out on the water training.
That's brilliant. That's exactly what I want to talk to you both about, because everything has just stopped. Everything's been put on pause. And when I work on SailGP, Taylor, I don't even know if you realise, because I do it back in England and everything is remote there. But obviously that's been put on pause. That stopped. And Stephanie, the Olympics have been delayed, which is just, insane for your training. So what fitness training are you both doing so that when we do get back out into sort of normal world, you're ready to pick up where you started from?
Yeah, we've definitely had to get a little creative with that, with the gyms being closed. But we're both in good hands with our trainers. I work with Mike Kushner at Sailing Performance Training, and Taylor works with Oz through the SailGP stuff. So we're definitely in good hands and staying quite active. And we both have road bikes, so that's been good fun for us to get out for some long rides. We just had one together this morning, and it's always more fun riding with a buddy. We definitely push each other, and it helps us get our competitiveness out.
Good. Interval training this morning is a tough one.
Yeah, it was hard, but we push each other, so that's fun. And then we've been doing, we just moved into a new place, and we're lucky we have a garage, so we made a little garage gym. My local gym that I usually go to, they were renting out equipment, so we picked up a kettlebell and a medicine ball and a set of dumbbells, and we have jump rope and ladder, and it's keeping us plenty busy and just having fun with it, working out together. It's been pretty fun.
I love it. And as you say, you don't normally spend that much time together, so it must be like, okay, I've got a workout body. It's not usually you.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah, and we're definitely both pretty competitive, so if we do like some sort of AMRAP or something, or like time is as many reps as you can do, like we're definitely pushing each other hard.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good competitive nature. A good competitive nature that we push each other to get better, and it's a lot of fun for us.
But that competitive nature, obviously you're both used to just getting rid of that out on the water. So have you become nightmares to live with each other?
I think
we have our moments, but just like everyone probably. But no, we've been having a lot of fun. We've been keeping it fun and light, and again, this new place we moved into, where we have some like different levels, so we can both separate when needed and take our own space, and then we can come back together when needed as well. So it's been good for us.
Yeah.
No, I think that's super important. It's amazing how much you learn about yourself and each other. So just going back to the fitness, do you have schedules in place put to you by your trainers or something you're coming up with? And is it kind of like at 9 we're doing this, at 11 we're doing that? Or is it kind of, you know, the day is yours, you just have to get certain things done?
They both like kind of altered our programming to basically cater to the equipment that we have. So that's been really helpful. And, you know, it's hard to just come up with these workouts on your own, but, you know, we've been posting a lot of it online for other people to get involved. And yeah, we just do it when we feel like we're up to it during the day. You know, it's not super regimented, but it kind of revolves around other things that we have going on during the day as well.
Yeah, like for example, like the biking that we do, we're doing it in the morning for the most part, try to get that done. And actually this week, Mike and I have sorted out more of a schedule, so I'm biking Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then those other days are kind of more like gym style workouts in the garage. So, and then like slowly tapering on Sunday and then building it back up. So I think it's helpful to be on a little bit of a schedule. Like even yesterday we were like, all right, we're going at 4. Workout times at 4, just so you at least like commit to it. And yeah, having each other to hold ourselves accountable is good.
That is so helpful, having each other, because even the top athletes like yourselves, you're still human. There still will be times you just sort of think, oh, I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah. And we pick each other up, you know, days I'm lagging, she picks me up. And, you know, getting out of bed at, you know, 6:30 this morning, it's like, oh, I could just sleep in so easily.
I was dragging them out.
Yeah, got us on the road. And then, yeah, you know, from there it was easy. Once you're out there and you're committed to it, it's, you know, it's easy from that point on.
Yeah, totally. But it's really hard to remind yourself of that at 6:30 in the morning when you're warm in bed.
Yeah, for sure.
Stephanie, are you the motivator? I'm sure, sorry, Taylor, I'm not saying you're not the motivator, but who's more motivated? Who's the one saying, come on, we've got to do this, and then it's done?
I think we have a pretty like good balance of that, to be honest. Like we started doing a push-up challenge. You're supposed to do 100 push-ups a day, and Taylor's been by far the most dedicated to it. And you've done 100 push-ups every day for 28 days, right?
Yeah, I think we're on day or maybe 27 we're on. So
yeah. So he's definitely been the motivator for that. But yeah, maybe I'm the motivator for the early bike rides. And
for sure, not really a morning person.
He doesn't drink coffee. That's the problem. He needs to start drinking coffee.
I don't drink coffee either. Everyone swears by it. I can't touch the stuff.
Really?
Yeah, just never needed it. Never got involved. But yeah, maybe it's something new for quarantine life.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I love it, and I've seen as well on social media that you're both working out together. And Stephanie, you were putting a few things up of like doing interval training on the turbo trainer, and you were saying that Taylor was sort of motivating you. So it sounds like in difficult times, it's a good setup.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we recognize when the other person needs a little bit of a pick me up, and it's fun having that team dynamic. Like for me, I really miss my teammates right now, and you know, they're the ones who encourage me and push me when we're on the water and off the water too. So having someone to pick me up still is pretty nice.
Oh, that's lovely. And when you were mentioning your team there, and obviously you're part of a team, Taylor, so camaraderie is very important along with sailing skills. So are you able to keep anything up with like virtual calls or anything like that? Is that scheduled in place to keep in touch with your teammates?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been like living on our computers with, you know, Zoom calls, and it's awesome. You know, this technology that we have is incredible to be able to stay connected and make you feel like you're still making progress, and also staying connected and keeping those relationships fresh, I think is really important. So yeah, we've been, we had a great productive call yesterday with the SailGP team, and we basically are on a call once a week with, you know, just even an update with the schedule, and, you know, what our thoughts are for training and moving forward. And so yeah, it's difficult, but at the same time, kind of refreshing to see those faces, and kind of feel like you're putting into the program that, you know, you've worked so hard for.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, go ahead, Stephanie.
I was going to say, like, the U.S. sailing team, I think, has done a really great job with doing, we've had webinars like 2 or 3 times a week, and it's usually at the same time every day. And then we've kind of broken off into smaller groups and had, you know, people like Charlie McKee and Tim Wadlow talk to us about, you know, their thoughts on sailing 49ers and tactics. And so that's been cool to like get some more, get those guys involved and get some really cool discussions going with the U.S. sailing team. And we've been having a lot of check-in calls with my little team. And then we've definitely been spending a lot of time on Zoom.
Yeah, I think everyone has. I think it's just everyone's just sort of trying to get to this new normal. And when you mentioned there the 49ers, it just brings it back to me that you guys are used to living, adrenaline fueled. You sail these boats that are super cool, super fast. So have you found anything to fill that void? Have you got any new hobbies, or are you doing anything to sort of manage the fact that you're used to sailing really cool boats?
I'd say maybe the bike riding has kind of filled that gap. Like we've been riding pretty hard, and pushing ourselves with that, and obviously being safe while we do it. But I'd say that's been filling a pretty big need for speed void.
I wasn't really into the bike riding, and this has definitely pushed me to get into it, and I'm loving it. And yeah, it's definitely it's tough when you get passed on the road. It doesn't happen often.
Passed by who?
Oh, no. Doesn't happen often with the two of us, but it motivates us when someone goes by us, a little bit faster. We're like, okay, let's step it up.
Yeah. But as far as other hobbies, we've been doing a lot of cooking. Obviously, we've discovered like how much food we eat, which has been shocking to both of us. Like, we'll make chicken for dinner or something. I'll be like, this is definitely enough for leftovers the next day. And then all of a sudden I'm like, well, there's no leftovers. So we've been eating a lot of food, which has been fun. But
filling those calories that we burn all day.
The quarantine 15 is what everyone's calling it.
Come on, I'm actually losing weight.
Yeah, you are losing weight. I don't need to lose weight for the 49ers, so I have an excuse.
Quarantine 15.
Instead of like in the States, people say like you gain the freshman 15 pounds as a freshman in college, and now we have the quarantine 15. So
mind you, with the amount of exercise you guys are doing, it sounds like there's no need for any leftover. It sounds like it's all got to go in.
Yeah, well, that's certainly what's happening. But it's been fun to like experiment with new recipes. We've been using the crock pot a lot, which is nice for like, on the road when I'm traveling so much, to just have like new recipes in my back pocket. So that's been pretty fun. And the Zoom and the webinars has been keeping us pretty busy, to be honest.
Oh, some partner yoga as well.
We've been doing a little bit of partner yoga, although we're not very good.
I guess it gets interesting for sure.
You're not very flexible.
No.
We found some interesting moves online we've been trying, so maybe we'll showcase them on Instagram soon.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'll look out. Now, you mentioned that you've just recently moved into your new place together. So some could say this is a perfect opportunity for a little DIY and getting on with the place. So have you had any DIY successes or DIY disasters whilst you've been locked down?
We've been pretty like mellow with the decorating and stuff so far. We did have a broken dishwasher
that's the white wall behind us.
Yeah. No decorations. We did have a dishwasher disaster when we moved in, and I was doing something on my computer and I walked into the kitchen and Taylor had the whole dishwasher pulled apart, and I was like, oh my gosh. She's like, don't worry, I remember how to do this. I took pictures. I was like, yeah, I hope so. But then we'd still had to pay the repairman to come anyways.
Had like pieces and buckets of water and like,
it was a disaster.
It worked.
Yeah.
Not something I could fix, unfortunately.
I love that you possibly knew that you wouldn't be able to fix the dishwasher, but you thought, I'll just take it apart.
Yeah.
You gotta give it a good try first, before you pay someone money. You gotta give it a go.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just the way it's got to be. And in the evenings, are you getting to relax at all? Is there anything you're watching on TV that you can recommend? Anything you're binging?
Ooh, we just finished a good one, actually.
Yeah, we just finished Succession on Hulu. It's a HBO show. It's really good. It's about a New York City family, really wealthy New York City family. And they're trying to figure out which kids take over the business, and they're all fighting for it. And it was good. We also watched Tiger King, but obviously everyone has been watching Tiger King. So.
A little controversial.
I've been watching Tiger King, and I think the entire time I was just looking at it like,
how? Like, this is so crazy.
I don't understand how you get into that business or that line of work.
Yeah.
But hopefully they are trying to save some of the endangered species, but we don't really know, I guess.
Yeah, pretty controversial, but I'd say I think it's kind of like something, whether you just have to watch it to believe it, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
So when lockdown is over, have you let yourselves think ahead as to what is the thing you're most looking forward to doing when we've sort of got newfound freedom again, whether it's probably sailing, but it's something that you sort of think, oh, I can't do that and I really want to do it. Now I realize how much I miss that thing.
Yeah, sailing, having a beer with friends, I think.
Yeah.
That'll be
yeah, that would be nice. And I miss my family, so when we can all see each other and hang out again and travel and go sailing, I think some big things we're missing. But I don't know, I was thinking about it, as sailors we're constantly adapting to changing weather and the wind changing and whatever. So I think as sailors, like, we're maybe built a little bit more for this and just like have to accept like this is it for right now, and things will get back to normal at some point, and we just can't let ourselves become anxious about that. We just have to go one day at a time and trust that it's all just going to work out long term.
Well, we talked about getting on the 49er FX together.
Yeah.
If her crew can't make it down here, we're going to go for a little spin. And I'll hop in the front of the boat and see.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Try to keep it upright.
I love that. As soon as lockdown's over, you've got the chance to go sailing, go in the 49er FX. That's great.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah, and Stephanie, just to pick up on what you were saying there, it's sort of like the mentality, and for both of you, you're very trained to deal with changing situations like you say on the water, and is that helping you at the moment with being like, we've been through ups and downs before in our sport, I know how to focus, I need to sort of control what I can control, maybe can you explain a bit about that, how you have sort of preparation from sailing?
Yeah, for sure. I think you nailed it there by saying, we can only control what we can control. And like, I think it's just important to just take it one step at a time. It's like when we're approaching a race, it's not like, oh man, if we don't win this race, we're not going to, make the medal race or whatever. Like you can't think about the results. You just have to take it like step by step. And, that's our team is really process driven. And so I think this is just like a unique way to be like, okay, what's, today's just a day. I don't even know what day we're on of quarantine, but like, that's whatever. Like, it's not like, oh man, we're on day 40 of quarantine. It's like, it's another day. We're making the most out of it. And, keeping to a little bit of a schedule. And I think just, there's a lot of mentality that goes behind it. Staying positive, trusting it's all going to work out and get back to normal soon. And then just, taking it one step at a time.
And Taylor, similar with match racing, obviously that's very, when you're world match racing champion, it's very strategic and you're used to these intense situations. So is it the same for you? Yeah,
I mean, I guess like I've always had kind of a more like, when I'm not sailing, I guess you could say I've been more of like a laid back personality and just kind of cruisy and kind of take it as it comes. But yeah, it's been good. And I think like Stephanie said, you do have to hold yourself accountable and keep yourself on that, regimented routine. And otherwise I think you go crazy. So I think we're just working hard to keep ourselves busy, and the fitness has definitely kind of filled a big time slot for us, which has been nice. Some days we're doing double sessions, bike ride and a gym. So that's been helpful, and it's a good time to focus on it. It's for me, it's definitely been a big push, and I'm feeling the gains. So it's been fun.
Nice. I love it. That's what I love about doing these chats with people, you know, hearing all these positives that people are creating, and your focus on the fitness is awesome. And Stephanie, obviously a little while ago we heard that the Olympics have been delayed pretty much a year. Now, for people that aren't involved in sport at the Olympic level, that is huge, because, you know, the focus for 4 years is that date on the Olympic year in August. So how have you worked your way around that with a sudden delay?
Well, I think first of all, I think it was a responsible choice from the IOC, and you know, we want to compete at a games where everyone has been training, you know, and is the best that they can be. Whereas I think if we had gone forward with the games in July, it would have been, you know, everyone would have had limited training time. So we want to compete against the best athletes and have a healthy and safe environment for the athletes and spectators. So I think it was a good call. But I'd say, like, yeah, you know, initially when we didn't know if things were going to be postponed, it was a little bit stressful. And now it's like, okay, we'll just this is a kind of a break right now, and we'll just, you know, everyone's pumping the brakes, and let's just focus on how we can make the best of our time moving forward. And it's a little bit crazy because we don't know what that time is going to be. Like, I was just on a call where we were discussing, like, okay, here's one plan, here's another plan, here's another plan, and we're just really trying to keep ourselves agile and ready for whatever we can do in the next 15 months. And if we're just training on our own, you know, for the next year until we can go to Palma next March, like, then that's what we'll do. And we're just trying to figure out how to make the most out of it. And yeah, it's a little bit crazy to think about another 15 months, but it's exciting because I think our team, you know, we have a lot of momentum right now, and we want to really just keep building off that. So we're excited about it.
Oh, I love your positivity. That's brilliant. And I truly believe it as well. I really sort of think you're going with this change. And Taylor, for you on the SailGP circuit, I think, what have we had now? 2 cancelled. You know, it's super fast paced. It's really competitive, and it's really good fun. So I'm sure you're missing all the fun. Can teams, do you think, use this time as a break to you know, like, level the playing field off, or, you know, I know we're all in the same situation, but how do you think that's going to work when we get back out on the water and into the next event?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's definitely room for gains right now. And, you know, we've been watching a ton of video, and as everyone knows, the data in SailGP is just open. You know, we have access to data from every team, and, you know, having got that first event of the season was great because, you know, we have video from other teams, then we can sync with the data. So that's been a huge help. And I can't even tell you how many times I've rewatched the Sydney live stream, and even our practice down there. So it's been great. You know, it's normally the time frame is just so crammed, and, you know, we'd have other events in between the SailGP events. So we wouldn't normally have this much time to really, you know, do that deep dive into the material and the data and the video, and even just like pinpointing different communication things on board. That was our big call yesterday, was about our communication. So you know, this is allowing us to really dissect every little bit of the game and our team, and there's no doubt we're going to come back stronger.
Awesome. So more time on your computer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and he just started doing the virtual racing too. So he's like on the phone doing the virtual racing.
Absolutely. The VR is now taking over the evenings.
Because you're known as a fierce competitor. I know a minute ago you said you're sort of, you know, really relaxed when you're not on the water, but is that where you're able to channel your real competitive streak?
Yeah.
The commentary is pretty funny.
I'm sure there's been some moments where Stephanie's like, "Why are you yelling at your cell phone right now?" So yeah, it's good. It's fun, you know, and we get to race like friends. Again, it's filling the void. You know, not seeing your friends on the water, you're able to see them in the virtual game. So it's a lot of fun to do, and I'm enjoying it.
I love that, the image of you just shouting at yourself on the phone.
He gets really intense about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was just racing a buddy earlier today, you know, after the bike ride, I just hopped on for a quick race, and And it just happened, like one of my buddies from the West Coast, who I've sailed with a ton, Eric Champagne, was on there, and he's really good. And I beat him in the race, and I was like, yes, like, this is awesome. He's like ranked like top 10 in the world or something on the game. So it's good to get a win off him.
Earlier, it's all coming out now.
Yeah.
And so what have you guys learned about yourselves since being in lockdown, and possibly each other?
She probably learned how OCD I am about keeping the house clean, and because like she said, we're not home all that much together, so it's a different game when two people making messes.
Yeah, that's been an interesting thing to learn. Trying to think specifically about myself, I would say just like I think just like the value of like of being with people in person. I think this has put a new perspective on that, and like how much I just really value being around my team and my family, and I certainly miss our friends, and so it's missing the human interaction like a bit, but I think just putting a value on that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also like we have like traveling so much is often difficult. It's hard to keep really good friends in certain locations, and definitely putting more of a emphasis on like staying connected with friends, and hopefully that'll carry on into the future when we do start traveling again, that we still have the drive to stay connected with friends while we're on the road and competing. And there's a lot to say about that. So it's been good to reconnect with a lot of people that we've kind of had not really a fallout, but like kind of pause with for some time with our busy schedules.
Yeah, and also your rivals on the water. I know it's sailing's one of these wonderful sports where you could be fiercely competitive and rivals with people on the water, but then at the end of the day, you go and have a beer together and you're really good friends. So sometimes it's quite nice to, albeit virtually, reinforce that side of things, that is our sport, but we're still friends.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure. We had a fun night the other night. We hosted a trivia night for our friends on Zoom, and that was pretty fun to connect with people that way and have some trivia.
It was really cool. highly recommend it.
Yeah. I've got tomorrow night. I can't wait. I'm hosting my first one. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
It's super fun.
Yeah, and it's actually like surprisingly wasn't that difficult to set up. Like, I just had a bunch of questions written down, and we're like, okay, when you want to talk about it with your, it was a bunch of couples. So we're like, oh, talk about it with your couple, and put yourself on mute, and then we'll count you into like displaying your answer with your little note card. And so it's pretty cool.
It was fun. It was funny to watch people like talk between themselves on mute, because you could see them kind of like arguing or like thinking really hard, or like, I know this deep down, I know the answer to this. So that was pretty entertaining for sure.
I can't wait. That's a good idea, holding the cards up.
Yeah.
Do we trust your honesty? You got to show it to us first.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you just count them into like them having to put it up all at the same time, and then they can't change it.
So you guys are engaged. Is this affecting wedding plans at all?
Well, what wedding plans?
Well, yeah.
Well, that was going to be scheduled around the Olympics, but now that that's been postponed, I'd say any wedding planning is getting postponed as well. and buying a house as well has been, so I think that engagement time will just keep ticking.
The parents are putting pressure on us though.
Yeah.
Like, when's the wedding? I'm like, stand by.
Yeah.
Come on. We just got to wait.
What did your dad text us the other day? He was like, oh, with the postponement of the Olympics, you guys are never going to get married.
Correct.
Right, Taylor, when we were last, when was it, December in the Bahamas, my God, we would have, if someone had told us that this was what it was going to be like in a few months,
yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah, would have done a few things differently, probably.
What have you done differently?
Oh, I don't know. No, I think just like, I mean, planning wise and, financially, it's like a scary time for a lot of people. And I think a lot to be said about just like having something, planned for this period of time would have been, nice. And not having to worry about like when work is coming next, you know, just kind of knowing if it was, you know, knowing it would happen and when it's going to end is like, yeah, it would be easy. But the fact that this is such like a mass pandemic that, you know, no one knows really that much about it. So I think just, yeah, again, staying positive has kind of got us through it. So, but yeah, definitely looking forward to getting back out there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. When it first happened, I was so sad because same as you, I'm self-employed. It's, you know, it's a major, and then it's just kind of picking up on what you're saying. You know, you just got to force that positivity if you can. So I've just got one more question. I know you guys travel a lot. If lockdown stopped right now and you had the option to go to somewhere you've been to before, where would that be?
Back to somewhere we've already been?
Or yeah, or somewhere new, just, you know, that sort of.
We have a big travel bucket list, that's for sure. We've been to some cool places and we're really grateful for that. And but we definitely have a pretty big bucket list of places we'd want to go. High on my bucket list is to do Machu Picchu. I really want to go do that hike. So that would be cool. And I would go back to like Angkor Wat and do Cambodia again. I think that was an amazing trip that we did, and just such a cool part of the world and so much history there. That would be really cool to see that again.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of expand. We did like 2.5 weeks in Southeast Asia, like just straight up backpacks. And it was really cool. It just like such a different part of the world from what we're used to, and just amazing. You know, It's like the beauty there, and the, you know, just in there, I don't know, just, you know, the mountains and then the beaches, like it just goes on and on. It's just, it's the temples, like she was saying, it's just unbelievable. So much history and so much beauty.
Sounds amazing. I think I want to go there.
We can send you our like our little itinerary if you want, so you guys can go have a Southeast Asia trip.
Yeah, I'll. Do you think that would be good with my 3- and 6-year-old?
Yeah.
Maybe wait for them to grow up a little bit.
Yeah. Once they're in college, or
sounds great. But I know I've taken half an hour of your time, and I know you guys are on a busy schedule, and you've done your biking, so you've probably got exactly. Chop.
And for lunch.
Yeah.
Any more pancake disasters? I saw you put up the other day.
Oh, come on.
What's the key to a good flip, Taylor?
Really committing to it. You got to get underneath it and just absolutely go for it. The one time I got videoed.
You got nervous. You couldn't handle the pressure with the video on.
Went too early on the flip.
Yeah, they looked good on the plate, but the process was tough, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'll never live that one down.
No, you won't. That was just too good.
I think, you know, when things go bad, you just got to own it. Just put your hand up and say, yep.
I like that beforehand. It was so positive. Whoop.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It was lovely to meet you, Stephanie, and to see
you.
And hopefully we'll see each other soon. I was in Japan at the test event last year.
Oh, okay.
I was hosting, not that we were really hosting last year, but hopefully it's, you know, I was booked to go this year, so hopefully it'll be the same for next year. So see you in person at the next international event. Yeah.
Whenever that might be.
But thanks so much, guys, and good luck with everything, and stay safe.
You too. Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Join me next episode when I chat with Irish Olympian Annalise Murphy. Since she won her silver medal in Rio in 2016 in the laser radial, she has had a jam-packed few years. And it turns out in lockdown, she certainly hasn't been taking her foot off the fitness pedal. Tune in next week to find out more.